Hey everybody, welcome to the Dano channel. I am Dano and I'm back with more Star Wars Micro Machines. Today's video is going to be a little bit different because I don't have the box. I actually have everything laid out right here on the table. We're going to be looking at the old school set. This is from the 90s. It's Cloud City, and it's not a transforming head like Mr. Rebel Pilot is. It is actually its own little Cloud City, little planet thing. It's different because it's not a planet, but it is like self-contained in its own little unit. So I don't know where this one fits in the categories of other ones. It doesn't transform into a piece of equipment like Luke's binoculars. It's not a head that transforms like the Boba Fett Cloud City set. It is its own thing. So normally I will go over the box and all that stuff, but unfortunately I got this on eBay because it is kind of hard to find. They didn't have the box. In fact, all they had for me was the back of the box. So I was like, you know what? I will take it. I will take it because you can find this one on eBay every once in a while, but it goes for like $45 to $50, and there's no way I was paying that. There's no way I was going to pay that. So I actually got a hold of this one for about $18. And again, the sacrifice that I made was I didn't get the box. I only got the back of the box. But thanks to the wonders of the internet, we can still take a look at the artwork on the front of the box. So let's take a look. Alright, so you see there in the top corner we have our Micro Machines logo. We've got a big, beautiful painting of Bespin Cloud City. I guess Cloud City on the planet of Bespin? I don't remember. And it's just kind of floating there. You have your little orangey sunset sky. On the left we see Han Solo being interrogated in a little detention room. Underneath that we've got Luke Skywalker looking down at Darth Vader. I love it. I love that look. He looks really menacing. And then you see a little cloud car swooping by. It says telescoping tractor beam. That's the feature that they want to really tell you about, is the telescoping tractor beam. I find that interesting. Next up says Cloud City opens to reveal interior chambers. Cloud City, Star Wars, and you see the figures that we have in there. Again, this isn't the most high resolution, but we'll take a close-up look at the figures here in just a second. Okay, guys, I've got the figures here. There's a Chewbacca with C-3PO on his back. There you go. Looks pretty cool. I love this Lando. I love that Lando is like getting choked out by Chewbacca. And that's just, it's him holding his throat. So there's kind of the back of him there. He looks good. His cape. This deal's getting worse all the time. So there he is holding his throat. And there is Han Solo doing a weird scarecrow position. That's because he's used in the detention center and you have to like hook him in. So his arms have to do this wonky thing. But it's a unique figure. It's definitely a unique sculpt that you won't get in any other set. But he looks good. I like it. I like it for what it is. And then lastly, we have the cloud car that they talked about with their fancy telescoping tractor beam. I feel like that's such a weird move to go with that. And last, we have the actual set itself. There it is. We have Cloud City, and it's beautiful. But before I open it up, let's take a look at the back of the box. Okay, so I do have the back of the box. I believe this blurb is the same all the time. It all began a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Now continue to experience the struggle between the Rebel Alliance, Defenders of Justice, and the evil and corrupt Empire. These are authentic replicas of scenes from the movies Star Wars A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. Follow the elusive Rebel heroes Luke Skywalker and Han Solo as they battle the Empire's mighty war fleets commanded by Lord Darth Vader. And may the Force be with you. May the Force have with you? Alright, let's take a look at the different features here. I like to start in the bottom left corner. We have a droid repair room. Cool, we have Chewbacca with C-3PO, and there he goes in the droid repair room. I see Han Solo in his little interrogation chamber. Movable torture device, that is cool. Detention cell with lift-up roof. There's Lando Calrissian choking in the corner. Lift-up entrance gate. Detachable landing platform. Working lift tube. Reactor shaft gantry, okay. Removable top. Reveals detailed Cloud City interior. Alright, we have Cloud City concourse, so it's just like details of what that is. Cloud City car hanger. Trapdoor with pop-out weather vane is pointing underneath. It's actually back here is the pop-out weather vane, but it's funny how that just disappears underneath it. Twin pod cloud car, there it is. Telescoping tractor beam that they were so proud of, there it is. Unipod stand, so it does have its own stand. And we have droid components that are inside. Alright, and I think that's about it. Now this particular box, oh, they did cut it off. Normally it says down here, oh, here we go. 98, so at least we have that to go off of. So again, this is 19 years old at this point. It's 2017 when I'm recording this video. So this was kind of towards the end of the line. when this particular box came out. I don't recall if this came out with the other ones like the Death Star and Tatooine and Hoth. It has a little bit more of a modern feel to it by a couple years, so I think this one did come out later. Again, if you know for sure, let me know down in the comments below. I know you guys, there's a lot of you who are like super experts. I go off of what I remember from 20 years ago. Some of you have done all the research and like really love it and know it, and I appreciate it. So I love it when you guys correct me or let me know the facts on things. So let's get this thing looking the way it did. There we go. It's the right angle, right? Have our little stand that they talked about. Let's get this thing looked at and set up the right way so it matches what it did in the back of the box. There's my little telescopic tractor beam. They love this thing. They were all about it in the front of the box. That's hilarious. So there are these little pegs on Micro Machines. I don't know normally talk about this, but they do sit right on there, and that's like universal for all the Micro Machine stuff. Now it doesn't always stay on the best. If you like go too quickly, it could fall off, but that's actually working pretty well. There's a close-up of those droid components, and here's a shot of Chewbacca kind of hanging out in there. And he looks good. He looks cool, and there's a little furnace back there, so that's cool. Here's that torture device that goes back and forth. So let's put Han Solo, Scarecrow Han Solo, in there. See if I can pop him in one-handed. Maybe not. I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. There he goes. So he did pop in there. And he goes, ooh, you drop him in there, he gets tortured. And when he's done being tortured, you can actually take him out. Maybe, without knocking everything over. There we go. I popped him out. Again, it's always harder to do one-handed. But you can take him out. You can put him in a little bed there. You can kind of just hang out. Oh, poor Han Solo. There he is, lying in bed in his detention cell. And you can close that back up on him if you want. In the box, it did have Lando choking in the corner. Now, I think that looks better. If I remember correctly, it was just, he was saying, we gotta save Han. We gotta save Han. And what's going on is Chewbacca was choking him out. So that looks a little more accurate doing it that way. And it was just before they headed outside to where the Falcon was. So this lift gate does go up and down, and that's kind of a cool feature. And then we're going to move into the next section. This is that weather vane I was telling you guys about. So you can actually push down on this, boop, and there's a trap door. So if it came with a Luke figure, which it doesn't, you could potentially put him on there. Here's the little lift tube that they talked about. That goes down. If I can get my big old finger in there, I can pop it back up. There we go. That does pop back up. It's a little gantry thing. This is the Carbonite freezing chamber in the center. It doesn't really like do anything. There is a previous set, a Darth Vader set, that does actually have a Han Solo like Carbonite figure, and that one's a little different. But I mean, it rotates, so there's that. But it doesn't go down or anything. I do love the stickers of the Stormtroopers. Those are really cool. I love the artwork on these old stickers. So there's another little side there of the. This I guess would be where Luke and Vader fought. Is kind of what that looks like. You could like replicate the fight, have him go up the lift tube, fight up here, and then have him get knocked out through the little weather vane area. So that's kind of what that reminds me of. And then we have our little hanger, our little telescoping tractor beam. Again, like I said, it does not always stay on the best, but it is what it is. So if you want, you can close all this stuff up. Let's close the doors. Let's close that, and we can put our lid back on, and you still have the cool little cloud car popping out, and then we have our little hanger that I can take off if I want. I'm gonna leave it on for now, but I like it. I think it's a solid set. My only real complaint is that it doesn't have a whole lot of figures. It's actually kind of lacking in the figure department. There's only 3. I mean, technically 4 if you want to consider C-3PO on the back of Chewbacca, because this is a pretty bulky figure for a Micro Machine. So, I mean, there's that. But overall, I would say it doesn't have much as far as figures goes. But the cool thing about collecting all these different Micro Machine sets is I can just reach back up here, and I can just grab another set with other figures that match this, and then we can have a whole bunch of different cool placings. So let's do that. Alright guys, I've done it. I added a bunch more figures in here just to make this look a little more like Cloud City. So I threw an Ugnaught back there, so there's an Ugnaught. I actually threw a different Chewbacca with C-3PO on his back. This one has a thinner base. This is the one that came with the Darth Vader playset. I added a couple more Stormtroopers and Imperial officers here and there. And, of course, a dead Stormtrooper, because why not? And there they are heading towards the Falcon. I've got Luke and Vader battling up there by the Weather Vane. I added Boba Fett in here with the Carbonite freezing chamber, and, of course, the Slave One. So, just to kind of make it fleshed out a little bit more, and, of course, I put the Cloud Car over Cloud City, just to kind of make it look a little more real, a little fun. So, I like doing that with these things. That's why I love collecting these, is that I can do that. I can pull these other figures and make full-on scenes like that. Now, guys, let me know what you think about this set down in the comments below. I actually really like it. I wish I did have the box, but given that I open these things anyway so I can share them with you guys, it doesn't really matter that I don't have the box on this one. Either way, I don't know if I would say it's my favorite. Sometimes you guys call me out on calling everything my favorite. But it is a really, really good set. And I do like it. These sets from the 90s were some of the best Star Wars toys ever made. So, alright guys, if you're new around here, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got a lot more Micro Machine sets coming up. We've got Star Wars lightsabers, action figures. I'm getting into 3.755 POA. That's nerd speak for cool toys. Or I guess not cool toys, depending on who you are. Those are different Star Wars action figures. I've got more reviews on those coming up. Lots more Star Wars. Handful of Disney vids. So just make sure you're subscribed. Love each and every one of you guys. So thank you so much for watching along and hanging out and playing toys with me. Until next time, may the Force have with you. And goodbye forever.